How did your boss betray you, and what's their karma? Pick a card. Here are your piles. We'll see you in your reading. Hi, Pile 1. Welcome to your reading. Let's find out, how did your boss betray you, and what is their karma? Now, I'm looking at the first boss. This boss is someone who likes to spread rumors. They like to gossip. They're nosy. Just trying to figure out what everybody else got going on and trying to get the tea on all the coworkers. This boss betrayed you. And how they betrayed you was they wanted to make it seem or appear as if on the front, like a museum, everything was okay in their relationship with you. They wanted to make it seem like they were happy with your performance, your work performance. The whole time they were actually scheming and plotting to leave you out in the cold. They wanted to get rid of you, so they were looking for ways to post your job description on LinkedIn. And so based on this betrayal, their karma is that it resulted in them being burned out, them being burdened, them being empty, because you possibly may have left and found out or got a feeling that they were going to try to get rid of you. So you left before they got rid of you. Or maybe they got rid of you and then you got a better job or just got a better opportunity somewhere else. So then they were left with a burden on their hands where they had to deal with all the chaos and the aftermath due to that betrayal that they did to you. You have this boss who makes bad choices. They make decisions without thinking. They don't gather the facts first. When they make decisions, they just go ahead and impulsively make decisions. They like to play a lot of mind games in a sense that they want to gaslight you and make you think, oh, well, you're okay, but I don't think that you have your management material. Whole time you've been a manager. But they don't want to give you the title because they know that they'll have to pay you more money. So what they'll do is gaslight you and play these mind games and say that your work performance isn't up to the par, but really it's above average. Those are the kind of mind games they play so that things can work out in their favor. This bad boss betrayed you because they were trying to keep you at a standstill, rendezvous point. They wanted you to stay at this destination where nothing moved for you. There was no growth within the organization. They didn't want you to make any progress. They also, I'm getting on this card, this person who is kind of isolated in a forest. They wanted to keep you isolated at the company. So I'm getting social bullying on this one, where they find ways to send emails to the team, but then they leave you off of the email. They may invite everybody to lunch, but then say they forgot to invite you. They do methods like inviting people for coffee, but then they don't invite you for the coffee, and then they turn around and say, "Oh, I must have forgotten. My bad." When they're called out on it, but really they didn't forget. They just was plotting and scheming to make your life hell while you were at the workplace. And so their karma is that you had to burn bridges with them because they were disloyal and you couldn't trust them because of the plots and schemes of the social bullying and trying to stagnate you within the workplace. And so you had to cut them ties and burn that bridge down to the ground. And that was their consequence because at the end, they probably had to deal with the aftermath of you leaving and having to replace you in all of that chaos. You have this bad boss who's trapped. They're stuck. They don't have any options. They don't get forgiven because of the bad stuff that they do, because they repeat the same cycle over and over again. So there's no forgiveness left with this particular bad boss. This bad boss betrayed you because they were looking for these infinite possibilities, these infinite options to keep you stagnated. They wanted to keep you retreated in the same position that you were in. Maybe they were saying you're good as this in this role. So you might have been communicating, oh, I want to be in a different position. I want to grow to this role. They didn't want you to elevate. They didn't want to get you into any other positions that would make you feel more fulfilled. They wanted to keep you exactly where you were at. So since they were trapped, you need to be trapped. Their karma is that you had to ghost them. You had to leave them out in the cold, and you had to say goodbye and go take other opportunities, because you're not going to stay stuck and stagnant. If you want to make more money, you need to go somewhere else. If you want a different job that's going to give you more progress, you got to go find another job. So you went ahead and separated from this employer. You have this bad boss. It's wishful thinking with second chance here and nostalgia reversed. So there is no wishful thinking. This bad boss, represented by wishful thinking reversed, you can't have wishful thinking because you're such a bad boss that there's no way in hell that Pile 1 would ever return to you. That's how bad of a boss you are. This bad boss betrayed you, Pile 1, because they wanted to get rid of you. Because I'm getting on this shipping away, sailing away. They wanted you to sail away, so to speak. And they either got rid of you or you left or sailed away on your own. And so you took off. And the karma for your boss is that they're now left out. They're in their feelings. They're getting the silent treatment from other coworkers because they got found out what they tried to do to you. So they feel so uncomfortable at work now that they gotten exposed. What they tried to do to you to leave you out in the cold, now they're left out in the cold. It could also mean too that the boss found out and left them out in the cold. You have this boss who is represented by envy. They were hating on you. They're resentful. They were competitive. They saw that you were a high performer, Pile 1. You was on your shit. You knew what the hell you were doing. And this type of boss was the kind that probably not competent. You know those kind of bosses, they're not competent. They don't know what the hell they're doing. And so when they see that you know what you're doing, then they're like, oh man, I got to compete. I got to compete with my subordinate. So they'll, because of that competition feeling and envy and jealousy of your skill set, they're threatened, they had to betray you. And how did they betray you? They wanted to make it appear as if you were growing, because I get on here moisture. So water on plants makes it grow. But this was just a front. They're making it appear as if they were helping you grow in some way, shape, or form. But it was all a showcase. It was just an art exhibit. It was just a front. So in a sense of that, they could have been saying, well, I'm going to make sure you're going to grow, Pile 1. I'm going to give you more work. So it makes it appear as if you're growing, but they're not raising your pay and they're not changing your title. So that's an illusion. You're not really growing. They're just reaping the benefits off of you doing more work, but not paying you more. And they're not even changing your title. So that's what I mean by making it look like you're growing, but it's all a front. So due to that betrayal, they're now over their head, drowning at rock bottom, because you probably left their ass and got a position somewhere else because you could see through the illusion of what they were doing. And so now when you left, you caused some type of chaos because you probably held everything together. They had to pick up the pieces. And so they hit this rock bottom moment where all of that chaos was put on them. This particular bad boss, they're represented by isolation. There's someone who caused the conflict. It was self-inflicted. Whatever bad behavior they did towards you caused them to be rejected, caused them to be left alone. And they did it to themselves. So this bad boss betrayed you because they decided to elevate, right? They wanted to elevate their status within the company. but using your resources. When I get farm, I get, cows and animals where they're the resource. They provide the meat. They're the ones that have the milk, right? So your production, your resources, your value, they elevated off of it. So in a sense, in a company, you do all the hard work, you create all the spreadsheets and the budgeting, they use your budget sheets to present to the higher up. They take the credit for your work. Their karma is that because they took that gamble to reap the benefits off of a harvest that wasn't even theirs, they're having to deal with no possibilities now, which means you had to leave them behind. They tried to look for other options to find better people that could replace you, but they could never find someone that was as good as you to replace, or that performed at a high level like you to be able to get things done. So basically they had to deal with the chaos, this aftermath of you leaving and not having really good possibilities to restore the company back to its balance like it was when you were there. Spirit, are there any other descriptions you'd like to give me of these bad bosses? Someone, ooh, okay, online community, interesting, okay. I'm getting someone with blonde hair, wavy hair. Getting someone who's Hawaiian Pacific Islander. Someone with amber eyes. A father. Oh, that's interesting. So your boss was a father. A Taurus. A karmic feminine that was doing that. Ooh, religious cult. Okay, that's interesting. I mean, maybe you volunteered or did some work for a church, right? Maybe you were the accountant and the leaders within the church, they were treating you bad. They feel threatened by your skill set as this accountant within a religious sector. Spirit, are there any takeaways that you can give me for pile 1? I am loved beyond measure. So when you love yourself, you will have people who love and value you. You don't have to stay around bad bosses that treat you bad. And it was good in this reading. I could see where you didn't tolerate them making you trapped or doing any type of injustice. And you stood up 10 toes down that I'm going to go somewhere else and be treated better. And that shows a lot of love that you have for yourself. Those are the messages I have for you, Pile 1. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you'll be notified when new videos are uploaded. Plus comment if any of these messages resonated with you. I offer personal readings and the details are in the description box below. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Hi, Pile 2. Welcome to your reading. Let's find out, how did your boss betray you and what's their karma? So I'm getting for the first boss, this is a type of boss that they like to operate in ways that are toxic. They don't operate in justice. They just want things to work out in their favor, even if it screws someone else over. They like to play mind games. They like to invest in doing the old things that work in their favor but hurt others. This type of boss, they betrayed you because they wanted to keep you imprisoned at the company. They wanted to keep you trapped in your position. They wanted to give you lots of work, but no rewards. They didn't want you to move to different departments, so they would block you there too. They didn't want to give you any raises or give you more money. They didn't want you to grow or change your title within the company. And they also didn't want you to sail away and to go to another company either. So they wanted you to stay within that company. And as long as you stayed in that company where they could control you, or that boss could control you, then you would never make any progress in life. So that was their main goal for you as an employee. Their karma is that this was self-inflicted because you probably you still left anyways. They feel rejected because they probably got found out about what they were trying to do to you when you were at the company, but you left anyways, and now everybody else is treating them bad, and they want to leave them alone and isolate them. They're embarrassed while they're at the company, or even the actual higher ups had found out what they did, or that higher up is actually trying to get rid of them, in the stages of trying to get rid of them. You have this boss who's hopeless. They feel a loss. They're in depression. They don't know what to do with their life or their circumstances or whatever's happening with them. This particular boss betrayed you because you were the one that had this hidden wisdom. You had high intuition. You were someone who's highly observant. So you gathered a lot of data and information when it came to people and situations. And they were someone with a small framed view, and they wanted to project that small framed view on you. They didn't want you to have wisdom and insight. So I'm getting on this gaslighting. So for instance, in a scenario where you're saying, I want to raise and a new title change because you're giving me more work, that's you using wisdom. They're saying, no, we're rewarding you with more work, but we're not going to change your title or your pay, because we need you to prove to us first that you can do the job. So we're just going to give you all this work first. But really, no, they're just doing that so they can get free labor out of you, but never give you the rewards that you deserve. So that's what it means by small framed view, and also taking advantage and screwing you at the same time. Their karma is that you're in harmony and balance and peace, which means you probably left this company and you elevated and went to a different company, or maybe you even started your own business. So you're doing really well. And they already got their karma not only through your harmony and balance, but they're already existing in this state of hopelessness and depression and loss due to losing you. Oops. This boss here is salty, bitter, and angry and petty. So them being in this energy alone already puts them in their karma. This particular bad boss tried to betray you because they wanted to mess with your finances. They wanted to do something to it. What did they want to do? They wanted to gamble with your finances. So in that sense, I'm thinking that maybe they made a promise to you that if you did a certain amount of work by the end of the year through your reviews, you would get a raise, or you would get a higher percentage of a raise or a title change or a promotion, but they never gave you that. So they stole your money from you. Other scenarios are when you get your review at the end of the year, you did everything, you met the expectations, but they lie and say you didn't meet the expectations, so they don't have to give you a certain percentage of a raise. So that's what I mean by gambling with your money in that sense. So since they did all that gambling and messing with your paycheck, their karma is that you are now in healing and self-care and introspective, which means you most likely left this company or left this bad boss and went somewhere else to take a break, to heal, to recover, take a vacation, and then start your new position, or maybe just start your own company, or just do something else that is putting you in more of a healing state. So your healing was their karma, but so was their karma through this saltiness and this bitterness. You have this bad boss described as someone who is shattered. They're broken. They're living in nightmares, sleepless nights, and failures. This bad boss tried to betray you by making things seem like they were comfortable and being hospitable. Whole time they were being competitive with you. They wanted to one up you and beat you. Anytime you tried to do something within the work arena, they wanted to see if they could do it better than you, make you look bad, say lies about you, highlight mistakes while you were at the employer, just so that they can look like they're the one that's competent and you're not the one that's competent. Their karma for doing this betrayal towards you is that you're the one that's the great employee, you're the soulmate, you're the one that's the great partnership. And you were recognized by all the employees or within the company as the one that's the good employee, while the boss is clearly the bad boss. And they've already received their karma by being in this state of being shattered, broken, and being in nightmares, because it is clear that the employees within the company see that they're the one that's the nightmare while you're the one that's the good employee. You have this particular boss represented by vacay. I'm getting this is the type of boss that wants to relax and always go on vacation. They're also someone who doesn't want to actually do any work. That's what I get on this card, is that they want everybody else to do the work and while they actually get paid for it. So it's that type of bad boss. This bad boss, they betrayed you because they wanted to make things appear as if everything was okay. It's like a museum. It's just a front. It's a display. Everything was okay in their relationship with you and in your status within the company, but whole time your job was at a full stop. They were trying to stagnate you. They didn't want you to grow. They wanted to just keep you at a full stop and never be able to progress or move to different positions within the company or to make any more money. They tried to figure out all ways that they could to block you from any type of progress, because they could see that you were ambitious and you had drive and capabilities. And so that's why they wanted to stop you. Their karma is that they are in continuous situations of drama and arguments with people because of their unreasonable behavior of wanting to relax and let everybody else do all the work, and then they reap the benefits off of it with vacay. And they're very toxic and unjust in their dealings with others. You have this boss characterized by this card of apology, someone who's very arrogant. They're rash in their decisions that they make and their actions. They're insincere and they're fake. This bad boss, they betrayed you because they wanted to move forward quickly in secluding you and isolating you within the company, because I get seclusion on this. So they wanted you to be isolated from people within the teams and stuff like that. So I'm getting social bullying again on this one, where they leave you off of emails and they don't keep you in the loop on information within meetings. So it looks like you're not someone that knows what they're talking about. And because they see your capabilities, they'll leave you out of the loop of information. But they deliberately leave you out the loop so you won't look like you're capable, or you don't have any abilities. You're not contributing anything of value to the company or to the team. So that's what I get off of isolation. It's not even just social bullying, like them going to coffee and then leaving you out. I feel like leaving you out of information that you should know so that you can make contributions to the team and to the company, so that they can sabotage you within your role and within your job. They're getting karma because you saw what they were doing, so you left the company and you became your own boss and you became your own authority and took control of your life. And that's their karma, is that you elevated when the whole time they didn't want you to elevate. Spirit, are there any other descriptions you'd like to provide regarding these bad bosses? Someone who's a Pisces, someone with red wavy hair. Friends, okay, so bosses that claim to be your friend, that you hung out with and probably, they had drinks with you and stuff like that. A Cancer, maybe Cancer who's on the cusp. Caucasian. I got Hawaiian Pacific Islander, someone in the transportation industry. Someone in finance. Probably I'm getting up because it's on the side. It could be finance and tech. Are there any takeaways you'd like to provide to pile 2? I am honest with myself and others. So when you're honest with yourself, you're able to say, okay, this situation isn't working for me. I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm going to recognize that there's a problem here and I need to come up with a solution. So I don't have to stay in these types of situations that cause me so much suffering and pain. Good for you, pile 2. Those are the messages I have for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you'll be notified when new videos are uploaded. Plus comment if any of these messages resonated with you. I offer personal readings and the details are in the description box below. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Hi, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading. Let's find out, how did your boss betray you and what's their karma? Now I'm looking at this first boss. They are described as someone who they've isolated themselves. It's self-inflicted. They have done some bad things that have caused them to be in this state where they feel rejected and they are being left alone and isolated from the people, the employees within their company. This particular boss betrayed you because they messed with your finances. They didn't want you to have any finances, no type of success in terms of your finances. So I'm getting on this that they mess with your finances maybe by getting rid of you, trying to get you fired, having you replaced. After they tried to replace you or you left on your own, your money flowed like a river. So it was still a positive outcome even after they tried to get rid of you or you left on your own. Their karma is that they're resentful, they're competitive, they're the ones that are discontent, envious of people. They don't want people to be happy, so they try to find ways, plots, and schemes to make people upset and to have misfortune in their life because they themselves are unhappy and discontent. You have this particular boss, someone who you have blocked. You have nothing to say to them. They keep trying to reach out to you because they have regrets about the separation, you moving on to better, calmer waters. And you had to block them because they kept calling to reach out to you to make amends or to get you back, so to speak. This particular boss, they betrayed you by, I'm getting on this, ocean waves, right? Ocean waves and seas, which means a lot of instability they were creating for you. A lot of chaos with these ocean waves. You don't know what direction the waves are going to go. It goes everywhere and causes all this chaos. And this is what they were doing. And this is what they were doing with their guidance and their direction with you when they were your boss at the company. Is their direction was chaotic. Their direction was inconsistent. And I get on this that with their direction being inconsistent, they blamed you for the outcome, but it was their inconsistent direction that got the outcome or the results that were not favorable. Their karma is that they're now missing you. They want to talk and try to reconcile and get you back because most likely you have left this company. You have this particular boss who has to reap the consequences of their bad choices, their mind games that they played with you. They have to figure out ways to humble you. They have to figure out ways for you not to be confident at your job. They noticed that you were someone who's confident, so they got to figure out how to lower your self-esteem so that you don't think that you're deserving of anything better. This particular bad boss betrayed you by causing all these chaotic events with you in the company. They like to cause lots of chaos. They like to cause a lot of problems. They like to cause blame you for things. It's so chaotic that it's like a movie, and then they would make you reap the consequences of their bad direction. Due to this betrayal, People are gossiping, they're being nosy, and they're now talking about this boss and their bad direction, their mind games, their bad choices, because you most likely left the company and you are no longer at this company because you didn't want to deal with all the foolishness that this boss was doing to you. You have this particular boss who wears a mask. They're hiding, they're concealing their deception. They want to plot and scheme on you. They always have some type of agenda when it comes to what's going to benefit them, but what hurts others in the end, they don't care about that. This particular mask of a boss, they wanted to betray you by collecting information on you, gossiping, so that they could get a rooftop view of what you were planning for your life. So if you were on your way to, let's say, finding another position or leaving the company, they were probably trying to gossip and try to get information from other coworkers about you, or they were spying on you. Maybe they put like a spy device on your company computer to make sure you weren't looking for another job, or they would watch you on your phone to see if you were on LinkedIn or stuff like that, to gather information to see what your next move was or your plans were, so they could figure out how to block it or to still sabotage you so you're not successful. They had deception where, you know, they had the mind to keep you trapped in the company, keep you where you were, keep you stagnant, not let you elevate. If you were trying to go somewhere else, they were going to figure out how to replace you before you left. That type of movement I'm getting on this. Due to that type of betrayal, they're broken, they're in nightmares, and they're in failures, and they're shattered. Because most likely you made your move and you left the company before they could actually replace you. But they probably saw you were leaving, so they were going to replace you first, but then you pulled the plug before they pulled it. And so now they had to move, that boss, or had to deal with the consequences of that ending, where once you left, everything just fell apart. And then they had to deal with those consequences. And now they were in nightmares because they didn't know how to solve those problems, because you were the one who was solving the problems the whole time. You have this particular toxic boss who's always in drama. They're always in arguments. It's most likely because they're unreasonable people. They like conflict. That makes their day. They get lit up when there's lots of conflict that they're causing and making people feel imbalanced. This particular boss betrayed you because they wanted your path to be very windy and twisty, and you didn't know if you were going or coming. They wanted to cause all kinds of confusion when it came to working with you, because they could see you were competent. So they wanted to find a way to shake you up, shake up your confidence, so that you wouldn't be able to perform as well. And the reason why they wanted to shake you up is they could see you were the type of person that wanted to elevate and progress in life. So they had to put these type of winding, confusion types of methods in your path to prevent you from elevating up that ladder. That's what they wanted to do, and that's what they were doing to betray you. And their karma is that now they're trapped, now they're stuck with no options, and people can't forgive them because they're the ones that are toxic and like lots of drama and arguments and conflict. And the employees are looking at them like shaking their head and treating them weird. And so now they're trapped at the company, embarrassed. You have this particular boss. They like to gamble. They like to take the risk, cause all types of conflicts and arguments, and so it can work out in their favor. This particular bad boss, they wanted to get rid of you. They wanted you to sail away in some way, shape, or form, get rid of you, and they wanted to explore options secretly behind your back. so that you would no longer be confident in you thinking that you were valuable within the company because they're saying you could easily be replaced. That was the way that they betrayed you. But then what ended up happening is you either left the company or they tried to get rid of you. But I'm thinking that because you could sense that they were trying to look for other options to replace you, you turned around and left that company, and now you're settled, secure, and established. And so you could be more stable now because when you went into your next job, you made sure to keep saving money because you knew that the economy was unstable. And then you were also someone who was budgeting. So you were more reasonable in how you were spending your money, and so that you would have more money in the bank as an asset to be able to stay settled and established. And that you being settled and established is their karma. And their karma also is that their emotions are every which way. They're worried, they're in fear while they're at their job, or they're worried in fear that because they gambled doing these toxic things towards you within the employment, the higher ups found out about it, and now their position is in review for potential firing. Spirit, can you tell me more descriptions about these bad bosses? I'm getting someone in the religious community, so maybe one of your bad bosses is part of a religious community. Someone that's Gen X. Someone with blonde, straight hair. Someone that's in the mining industry. I got two, which is dark, straight hair, and someone with blue eyes. A Sagittarius. Someone in the transportation industry. I got a Cancer. Someone in the a boss who's in the online community. Someone of mixed race. In-laws. Ooh, so someone might have a boss that's an in-law. So, you know, like how they keep it in the family. That type of company. Like a family company. Do you have any takeaways for pile 3, Spirit? Every day I bring radical self-love to my mind, body, and spirit. What a great quote. And so any toxic environment like this, you know that this does not nourish your soul, and you get to leave it until you can find spaces that do nourish your soul. Those are the messages I have for you, pile 3. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you'll be notified when new videos are uploaded. Plus comment if any of these messages resonated with you. I offer personal readings and the details are in the description box below. I hope you enjoyed your reading.